My sister kicked me out for having a tattoo, saying it would be a bad influence on her kids. So, I canceled their European trip and used their college fund on myself. Now, she won't stop calling. Hello Reddit I plus here. My sister kicked me out for having a tattoo, so I canceled their trip and used their college fund on myself. Alright, so tell me if I was wrong here, because my phone won't stop blowing up, and my sister is losing her mind. So, I have always had a decent relationship with my sister, Emma. Not perfect, but we got along. Until now. See, she's always been the perfect mom type. You know, organic lunches, zero screen time, the kind of person who makes you feel like trash for drinking soda. Whatever. That's her thing. I don't judge, well, I didn't. But recently, I got a tattoo. A pretty simple one, honestly. Just a small design on my forearm. Nothing offensive, nothing wild, just something meaningful to me. I got it last month, and my sister hadn't seen it yet. So this past weekend, I went over to her house to drop off some stuff, and the moment she saw my tattoo, she made this disgusted face, like I'd just walked in covered in gang symbols and satanic imagery. She was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I, being completely unaware of the storm brewing, just said, "Oh, it's my new tattoo." Cue the meltdown. She gasped like I'd admitted to selling drugs. Then she went off. You know, I don't allow that kind of influence around my kids. I don't want them thinking this is normal. Normal? What? It's 2025. Tattoos are practically mainstream. She acted like I walked in smoking a cigarette with a criminal record. I tried to laugh it off. I said, "Emma, it's literally just ink on my arm. Your kids watch Disney movies, and half those characters have tattoos." But nope. She doubled down. She told me to leave her house immediately because I was a bad influence, and she didn't want her children exposed to that kind of lifestyle. At this point, I was still half expecting her to start laughing and say she was joking. But she wasn't. She literally kicked me out, like, physically walked me to the door, told me to leave, and slammed it behind me. Over a damn tattoo. Now here's where it gets good. See, for the last 5 years, I've been the cool uncle. The fun one. The one who helped her kids, watched them, took them places. Hell, I even set up their college fund. Yeah. Their college fund. You know, because I was such a terrible influence. And, oh yeah, I also planned their upcoming trip to Europe. A whole 3-week vacation, fully funded by me. Because, you know, I actually like my niece and nephew. But I guess I was too much of a bad influence to be in their lives, huh? So, I decided to take her advice. I took my influence out of their lives completely. First, I canceled their trip. Every single flight, every hotel, every tour. Boom. Gone. I got a nice refund for most of it too. And then, because I was feeling particularly generous, I took all that money sitting in their college fund, which, reminder, was my money that I had put aside for them, and I used it on myself. Now, before anyone gets dramatic, I did not touch a cent of her money. This was my money. And if I was such a terrible influence, well, my money must be a bad influence too, right? So, I went on the trip instead. 3 weeks in Europe, baby. I saw the Eiffel Tower. Ate in Italy. Took a yacht in Greece. You know, real bad influence behavior. And the best part? I posted everything. Every meal, every landmark, every sunset. I made sure my Instagram looked like a travel blogger's dream. That's when my phone started exploding. First, she texted, "Where are you? What happened to the trip?" Then she called, and called, and called. When I finally picked up, she screamed at me. "How could you do this? My kids were looking forward to this." "Oh, you mean your kids? The ones you didn't want to be influenced by me? The ones you thought needed to be shielded from my tattoo-covered corruption?" I told her, "Emma, I was just taking your advice. You said I was a bad influence, so I figured it was best if I wasn't involved anymore, including my money." She went ballistic. She started yelling about how I was selfish and how I was punishing her kids for her mistake. I just said, "No, I'm just using my money how I want. Just like you're raising your kids how you want." Then she actually said, "But it was for their future." And I said, "Yeah, well, so was having a relationship with their uncle. You made your choice, I made mine. Now, she's got our parents involved, saying I should at least reinstate the college fund. But you know what? Nah, I'll probably rebuild it eventually. For the kids, but not until she apologizes. So, am I the bad guy here? Because personally, I think I just followed her rules.